They're concerned about them as handling a classified document, so they need an entire operations order to go and address this. They say the FBI Washington field office and other agents will effect a search of the designated locations at Mar-a-Lago to locate and seize the classified information. The NDI, the National Defense Information, oh no, and the U.S. government records is described as captioned in the search warrant. So here is their plan. As you see, we go through this. This is their mission from the feds, writing their little book report for how they're going to raid their political opponents. Lots of empty space, just like their brains. And as you'll see, they're going to name all of the enforcement agents who are involved in this. Now, here is the plan summary from the feds. On the raid, they tell us, this is how it will happen. The DOJ and the FBI will contact Trump's lawyers on August 8th, the day of the raid, to notify them of the search warrant and request collaboration and assistance. Now, after a reasonable time period, we ask ourselves, what does that mean? What does reasonable mean there? The FBI and the Washington teams will execute the search warrant with the case team, the filter team, and the Secret Service representatives as deemed necessary. And this execution will require the coordination with the Secret Service and may include coordination with guest services in Mar-a-Lago to ensure a fulsome understanding of spaces occupied as designated in the search warrant.
What's going on?
They'll give us their plan. Friday, 8/5, they're going to have a ops brief, 10 a.m. via Teams, I guess on Microsoft. They're going to have an internal FBI brief, so all these lunatic feds are all just sitting around having their picnics about how they're going to raid their political opponents on Friday. Then on Sunday, just like you see in the movies, they're all sitting around their table. Washington field office team travels to MM via commercial carrier. All case and filter team on standby for the Monday execution. Monday hits. Plan is the DOJ and the FBI will contact Mr. So-and-so. Locations to be searched will be safeguarded by the FBI at the time of this call. The search warrant execution will occur at or around 9 a.m. Routine updates to the FBI via command element. Evidence will be secured overnight. Designated couriers will maintain positive control of evidence throughout the search. And on Tuesday, we'll carry on. Couriers will maintain positive control of all evidence. Then we're going to pick up this evidence at Fort Lauderdale Airport at 9:30 a.m. We'll have staging at Reagan National Airport to retrieve evidence and personnel. And we'll have a bunch of specific duties. Teams will notify partnering agencies. These case teams will be briefed prior to departure. FBI will request CCTV camera footage. And look at this. They're going to ask that the CCTV be disabled during the search. All part of the plan. So as they're raiding Melania's bedroom and ransacking her drawers, they are turning off the cameras so they cannot be held accountable for it. A Ryder box truck and unmarked vehicles will be on standby to transport it. The ERT photographers will take entry photographs and the rooms to be searched. We went through that. The WF case team will lead this work. The search team will locate and seize the boxes. Once located, the boxes will be photographed. They'll be removed from the premises and loaded onto the box truck. Now, at least one designated search team will remain. Once the premises are complete, the documents will be manned appropriately. And there's some problems that happen here. I mean, this is pretty light. Remember, there are problems with how the boxes were inventoried. They got moved around. Stuff was shuffled around inside. And we have placeholders that don't match the inventory. So they're shuffling the boxes around. They should have been essentially frozen in time. Boxes will be transported for temporary storage. The boxes and documents will be moved, and we can accommodate 100 banker boxes. The personnel will then transport them, and then we'll move them afterwards. Now, in order to execute this, we are coming upon this policy statement that is concerning. Included here are instructions common to all. Coordination with the following will be executed as described above. They're going to talk to the U.S. Secret Service and other law enforcement agencies as deemed necessary. They're also going to talk to Mar-a-Lago security staff. Execution occurs during off-season date range. The Southern District of Florida attorneys, probably that person. The DOJ, CES persons, this person, they're going to be on standby for the raid. Now here's this little form box that they included right here. And many people are saying this is just standard language that goes on every form, and I don't care if it is. This is not a standard case. Law enforcement officers of the DOJ may use deadly force only when necessary. So they're allowed to use it, but only when necessary. That is, when the officer has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or to another person. And so my question, of course, is what kind of standard is that? Is this like the Ashley Babbitt standard? Was she in imminent danger of death or serious physical injury? She was causing that danger? Well, yeah, they said, yeah, she was. She got shot dead. So I wonder if it's something like that would be their low standard. But the point is, we have a major conflict here. They put some limitations on this. They say, yeah, deadly force may not be used to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect. Sure. Firearms may not be used to stop moving vehicles. It's not Hollywood. If feasible, don't increase the danger. Try to warn them before you shoot them. Warning shots are not permitted. Officers will be trained in alternative methods. Deadly force should not be used against persons whose actions are a sole threat to themselves. Officers should seek to gain voluntary compliance before using force if feasible, and if doing so would not increase the danger to them. Officers must prevent or stop as appropriate another officer from engaging in excessive force, and officers must render medical aid as appropriate. And now, this is alleged to be something that is on every single search warrant form. And you cannot read anything into this because it's just copy and paste template garbage, which is the biggest cop-out I've ever heard. First of all, in my opinion, these federal agents, Jay Bratt and Jack Smith, they would have loved to execute this portion of their policy. If Trump or anybody at Mar-a-Lago would have put up a fight and said, no, we don't let you come in here. This is the president. This is a former president who has presidential immunity. We'll come back to that. You don't come onto this property. So get bent. If they would have said that, what would this next level of conflict be? Remember, they said that they were going to wait just a reasonable amount of time in order to move forward on this. After a reasonable time period, you're then going to execute the search warrant. What if they said, no, we're not allowing you to come on this property? What would have happened? And you might say, well, that's ridiculous. How can presidential immunity apply to the president in a situation like this? Well, the answer is we don't know yet. And so we can follow the bouncing ball, as we always do. If Trump has presidential immunity for his official acts, then he can make a decision. One of his decisions was to take the documents out of the White House to Mar-a-Lago, immunized. In order to take those documents, he has to be in possession of them, of his immunity, which extends over. If your immunity just evaporates suddenly, then it isn't immunity. So Trump has
for
immunity
sure.
over
I'm glad
the
it
possession,
was
and in order to
small
have
one.
Meaningful possession, Trump
I almost
needs
ran
to
through
secure the premises in order to house
the barriers,
those
or not through them, but ran
Just
around the
in order to have
barriers.
free speech, you have to be able to actually speak.
Somebody pulled up right behind me.
So Trump has immunity over the possession of the documents and the right to protect those with immunity protections. Meaning,
an engine, a car, and another
immune
engine.
From even the process, that's what immunity is. It doesn't mean he has to then go turn around and challenge it in court. What we're seeing here with this immunity concern is Trump is being prosecuted by Judge
I've never heard of that, no.
Or by Jack Smith in Judge Chutkan's courtroom. The immunity defense has paused that entire case because Trump is arguing he is immune from the process. The Supreme Court's going to weigh in on that and tell us what the truth is. But when they executed this raid, They didn't know what the truth was. They didn't know anything about this, and they didn't know, or maybe they knew and were expecting Trump to put up a fight, but Trump didn't, that Trump could say there is immunity over this entire ordeal. And you can think of this almost like an embassy, like Trump is sovereign from the prior administration. Why would we want that to happen in our country? So we don't have presidents raiding other presidents. You're immune from your decisions of the prior administration. You're immune from those decisions. So when you leave, you don't get attacked by lunatics like Joe Biden and Jack Smith, enabled by the entire DNC. So if that is the case, and let's say Trump says, they're my documents for my administration, I have immunity over them, I have lawful right to protect myself and my property against an invading anti-democratic...
Yeah, it was 92 here yesterday.
...incoming tyrannical administration. What if I actually do defend myself this time? What if now Trump arms up Mar-a-Lago and the feds come in and the Secret Service now is put in a position where Trump says, I am not giving these documents up, and my armed security will now defend against the feds. What does Secret Service do? So that's the type of position that we're getting in. So here are the contingencies that they're talking about. Should media be present at Mar-a-Lago, all personnel will refer to the MMOSC and adhere to the media policy. Should Trump arrive at Mar-a-Lago, then we will be prepared to engage with Trump and the U.S. Secret Service security team. Now, should the Secret Service, in this hypothetical, provide resistance or interference with the FBI timeline or accesses, the FBI will engage with Redacted, and Redacted will engage with the Secret Service per existing liaison relationships, probably going up the chain of command. So should the guest reception be we say here? All right, Your Honor, Judge Cannon, Florida, classified documents case. President Trump hereby respectfully submits this motion to suppress the evidence that was seized as a result of Jack Smith and Joe Biden's unconstitutional raid of Mar-a-Lago. On August 8th, armed FBI agents stormed the private residence of the former president. What was unthinkable with respect to President Clinton's recordings and deemed unwarranted with respect to Hillary Clinton's destruction of evidence was determined to be appropriate here for Joe Biden's enemy. This was personally authorized by Merrick Garland. It was supported over FBI objections by DOJ leadership, who said that they don't give a damn about the optics of these steps. We know the raid was unconstitutional. They give us some background. In August 2022, the FBI did not believe that it was necessary to raid Mar-a-Lago. In August 1, in an email, Special Agent FBI 19 wrote that the DOJ and the FBI would respectfully request Trump's cooperation to do a, quote, consensual search. But according to Stephen D'Antonio, who was the assistant director in charge of the FBI, he said the FBI's preferences in, quote, dealing with cases like this was to seek consent from this person. Now, he firmly believed that the best scenario would have been consent for the FBI and for the country. But D'Antonio took the position in emails that were written back and forth but have not been produced. Now, the DOJ and the FBI seems like they were debating this issue. In fact, there was a meeting at FBI HQ. There was a search warrant discussion meeting. On August 3rd, Deputy Assistant Attorney General George Toscas and Jay Bratt participated in a follow-up call about this search warrant. According to the email about the call, Toscas stated, he said, frankly, I don't give a damn about the optics of the raid. The group discussed how Bratt had already built an antagonistic relationship with Trump's attorney. And ultimately, Merrick Garland personally approved the raid. So then on August 5th, Special Agent FBI submitted an application for the search warrant. The affidavit in support of the warrant claimed inaccurately, lied, that an investigation began as a result of a referral from NARA, the National Archives, the head librarians of our whole country. So NARA referred it to the FBI, and the FBI opened up a criminal investigation, but only after NARA complained. In fact, Special Agent from the FBI specified the following locations where witnesses said that there were boxes. We see where those are: the office, Pine Hall, entryway, and so on. So then they got the warrant. The warrant was described by the special agent. It's called it a mansion with 58 bedrooms, 33 bathrooms, 17-acre estate, Trump's office, and many things. Many areas to be searched. We know where they went. But then there was an illegal raid. We already looked through the operations order. They said the FBI believed its objective was to seize classified information. And the order also contained a use of deadly force, which stated that law enforcement officers may use deadly force when necessary. Now, the agents planned to bring standard issue weapons and ammo and handcuffs. They also wanted to bring in medium and large size bolt cutters. They were instructed to be undercover and to stay concealed. Now, the raid began 9 a.m. August 8th. Agents did not leave Mar-a-Lago until 6:40 p.m. that evening, scrounging around in Melania's bedroom. The roving and highly inappropriate search covered for